Astana hosted an international forum dedicated to the legacy of Golden Horde. Scholars, historians, archaeologists and researchers from more than 20 countries gathered to explore new perspective on one of the most influential periods in Eurasian history. Held under the auspices of UNESCO, the event emphasized the need for a broad international reassessment of the Golden Horde as a unique civilizational phenomenon that shaped political, cultural and economic process across Eurasia through joint academic efforts. Almira Amirov has a story.
The Golden Horde, or Ulusov Juche, emerged in the 13th century as a northwestern part of a Mongol empire and later evolved into independent Turkicized state. At its height, it stretched from Eastern Europe to Siberia, linking the major civilization of Eurasia. The Horde became a multi-ethnic and multicultural empire where different religions and peoples coexisted under a unified state structure. 7 centuries later, Kazakhstan is actively promoting new international research into the legacy of the Golden Horde and its role in Eurasian history. The international community already has a broad understanding of what the Golden Horde was about and the role it played in the world history. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev highlighted the empire's decisive influence on the development of trade, diplomacy and systems of governance across Eurasia.
Алтын Орда Евразияның ұлан-ғайыр аумағын еркін жайлап, ұлы дала төсінде билік құрған.
No historian doubts that the Golden Horde was a powerful empire that freely ruled across the vast territories of Eurasia and dominated the Great Steppe. This is a recognized historical fact. The Golden Horde served as a bridge between East and West and played a major role in the development of various civilizations and the formation of states. This too is a proven fact. Therefore, it is clear that the history of the Golden Horde has become the subject of many fundamental studies.
Сондықтан Алтын Орда тарихы көптеген іргелі зерттеулерге арқау болғаны анық.
President Tokayev described the empire not simply as a military force, but as a sophisticated state built on advanced laws, trade networks, and intercultural coexistence. According to him, Juche dynasty governed the Great Steppe, creating a political system that united different ethnic and religious communities across a vast territory. He also announced that Kazakhstan has already established a specialized institute for the study of the Ulusov Juche and proposed launching a large-scale international publishing project dedicated to the Golden Horde studies.
В Казахстане начался довольно активный процесс пересмотра устаревших догм и стереотипов.
In Kazakhstan, a process has already begun to reconsider old dogmas and rigid stereotypes that portrayed nomadic people as savage, disorganized forces outside the course of history, while diminishing the powerful steppe empires as entities that failed to reach the level of a state for political purposes. At the same time, while restoring genuine historiography, we avoid exaggerating the past. History does not forgive false self-glorification or attempts to appropriate a shared heritage for the benefit of a single nation.
Самолюбование, равно как и попыток превратить общее наследие в типично национальное явление.
The symposium also highlighted the need for deeper international reassessment of the Golden Horde's legacy as a major phenomenon in Eurasian civilization. Participants stressed that this process should rely on joint scholarly efforts and include an objective examination of both the achievements and shortcomings of the state. Such rethinking is becoming increasingly important in today's geopolitical environment, particularly for strengthening broader Eurasian cooperation. For decades, parts of interpretation surrounding the Mongol Empire was shaped outside of the region itself. Now researchers say it's time for regional scholars to play a more active role in the global discussion on the history and legacy of the Golden Horde.
The problem is that up until now, a lot of that research has happened outside of Central Asia. And I think that it's important now for the history of the Mongol Empire, for the history of the Golden Horde, that we start putting the Mongols, Kazakhs, the people of Central Asia back at the center of their own empire. So I think that an event like this, bringing us back to the center of the old empire, is a very important step towards that. Yeah.
Growing international attention toward the Golden Horde also helping Kazakhstan strengthen its position in a global academic circles. Scholars at the symposium noted that the renewed state and institutional support for historical research is creating new opportunities for cooperation between universities, museums, and research centers across Eurasia. According to participants, this process is not only expanding knowledge about the Mongol Empire and the steppe civilization, but also gradually turning Kazakhstan into a major platform for international historical dialogue.
I think the most important thing is probably raising awareness that there is a lot of work that needs to be done. In other words, there are many sources out there. Some of them have been investigated, but many have not. And so if this awareness grows as a result of this symposium, then all of us are better off for it. And I assume that this will happen because whenever there is government support, institutional support, and buy-in from so many different people, so many different organizations, so many different countries.
Well, I think it's going to increasingly put Kazakhstan on the map as an academic hub that can bring scholars all over the world to discuss the legacy of the Golden Horde and the Mongol Empire. And it will gradually, I think, increase the reputation, the scholarly reputation, and bring a lot of researchers from around the world here.
The symposium has also become a major cultural event. A large thematic exhibition opened alongside the forum, featuring rare manuscripts, archaeological discoveries, and historical artifacts presented together for the first time. Among the exhibits are materials from Sarayshik and Sığanak, interactive 3D maps, and more than 70 archaeological sites, and a unique handwritten scroll Shezhire, documenting the genealogy of steppe rules. Organizers say the initiative is designed not only to deepen international research cooperation, but also to position Kazakhstan as a leading global center for study of Golden Horde civilization and the heritage of the Great Steppe. Almir Amirov, New Time.